From skipping out on a night of drinking because he didn't have a fake ID, to his mom helping him out with resumes for his auditions. These are all the times Hollywood's Adonis Timothee Chalamet embarrassed himself. He's beauty, he's grace, but most of all, he's causing everyone around him secondhand embarrassment. Because he made a fool of himself in front of Saoirse Ronan, and this fun little story took place when the two of them were filming for the 2017 movie Lady Bird. So what happened off set that caused Chalamet so much embarrassment? Well, it's got something to do with Ronan asking him to come with her for drinks after filming. A pretty normal request, right? I mean, it sure sounds doable. Here's the catch though. The actress got the shock of her life when she found out that Chalamet doesn't have, you guessed it, a fake ID. The beautiful boy actor did not handle the situation as calmly as he should have. Mainly because he was so upset that he blew his shot at hanging out with someone as fun as Saoirse. Timothy recalled that after the ID blunder from his side, she just walked away, and all he wanted to do was say, "No, come back!" Like the goal was that she thinks he's cool, which according to Timothy was not achieved. He even shared in an interview with Peter Travers how he made himself uncool for Ronan. Last I checked, Saoirse and Timothy were besties, and an embarrassing moment won't change that. Speaking of embarrassing moments, Chalamet's got a lot of them, like when his picture with ex Lily Rose Depp got leaked. Did you know that those photographs caused his love life to become an internet meme? Wait, what? What internet meme are we talking about? Here's a hint. It's got to do with Italy, an old flame, and the paparazzi. Now, here's the gist of the story that still probably keeps Chalamet up at night. The Call Me By Your Name star was pictured kissing his ex-girlfriend Lily Rose Depp. Doesn't it just sound like they got cozy with each other on their vacation? You're wrong. Because here's why they became an instant meme. The photo was taken from a super unflattering angle. In fact, some social media users believe that the obvious public display of affection wasn't even genuine. They thought it was a publicity stunt for the release of their film The King. I think that comment was the final straw for Chalamet, because he finally spoke up about the pictures, and he did not hold back. In an interview with GQ magazine, the New Yorker shared just how heartbroken he felt after the pictures went viral. Becoming a meme was not on Timmy's agenda, guys. The actor explained that he had gone to bed thinking he'd just experienced the best day of his life, because he was on the boat with someone he loved. And you know, he felt great about the situation. The feeling was short-lived though, because Timothy woke up, and well, you already know the rest. Uh-oh. But I highly doubt this tops his experience acting alongside Zendaya. Their on-screen chemistry made everyone except the actor swoon. It seems that it's not easy to depict a futuristic romance. Obviously, a lot of factors come into play like limited filming times at sunset and awkward script scenes. I mean, come on! How does one even flirt when they're restricted to the futuristic language of Dune? Zendaya could not, for the life of her, understand how to work through the romance scenes. And don't worry, it's not Timmy's fault. The pair just didn't expect how difficult it would be to put Paul Atreides and Chani's love story into words. In an interview with Vanity Fair, Zendaya spilled the tea about futuristic flirting and how funny it was figuring out what would work for the characters. It was definitely tricky exploring just how a space warrior and a duke of a planet would show that they like each other. Zendaya added that she wasn't even sure what it would sound like. And look, the romance between Chani and Paul plays a huge role in the Dune sequel. Much more than Dune Part 1, which is why the co-stars felt like they were in the dark about their on-screen performance. The Euphoria star added that the experience was just as foreign to them as it was to the characters. So if you see Paul and Chani stumbling over confessions of their undying love for each other, just know that the actors were struggling in real life too. Timothy is usually the king of Riz, but looks like the Dune sequel tested his limits. It's got nothing on Chalamet's interview blunders though, like the time he fell out of a chair during an interview. Chalamet discussed the funny incident during an interview with Jimmy Kimmel. He was just sitting and minding his business as one does, when a gravitational force knocked him out of the chair. Kimmel was not buying his story though, and was like, that's not what happened. So then the actor spilled the actual tea and said, there was a girl in the audience who the Little Woman star was really excited to see. He even added how super psyched he was when he saw her. But things don't always go according to plan for our boy Timothy. Because the next thing he knew, he was yeeted out of his chair, and in front of the girl he liked. Gosh, it's like middle school all over again. Poor guy, I can feel the secondhand embarrassment. Okay, but how does one keep their cool when they meet one of their childhood heroes? Chalamet would love an answer, because he was in a literal trance when he met Emma Watson, probably because he's been a huge Potterhead since his childhood. And he admitted to having some difficulty being in Watson's presence on the Little Women set. He told Seth Meyers that Greta Gerwig had the cast take part in a dance class as an icebreaker, and as a way to loosen up. So was it weird or a downside of being the only guy in that room? No. In fact, the 27-year-old shared that there probably wasn't any deficit. But here's the deal. He grew up on Harry Potter. He's seen all the movies, read all the books. There might even be some hidden Harry Potter fanfiction written by Chalamet somewhere on the internet. The point is, he's a huge fan. So his first time seeing Emma Watson was definitely weird for him. And the actor had to put in the work to stop seeing her as Hermione Granger. Okay, but let's be real for 1 second, cause what would you do if you were in Timothee Chalamet's shoes? I mean, other than thank your lucky stars, that is. Of course, he would freak out after meeting the Emma Watson. I know I'd go into total stan mode if I was in his place. So honestly, I think this embarrassing moment is justified. Because we're talking about Emma Watson, you know? It's a given that you get excited in her presence. Just making sure to remember that the spell is pronounced Leviosa, not Leviosa. Or else you might take away 10 points from Gryffindor.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Anyway, did you know that there's a certain fruit that haunts the Golden Globe winner? And I think you know what fruit I'm talking about. It's the infamous peach from Call Me By Your Name, where, let's just say that Chalamet's character, 17-year-old Elio, gets a bit too comfortable with the fruit, if you get my drift.
I don't know how to describe this. There's a peach, and in life, one has to explore sometimes.
Right.
And the exploration commences.
So he shared on Jimmy Kimmel Live that the peach scene is just something he cannot erase from his memory. He added he's scared that about 50 or so years into the future, people will just walk up to him, peaches in hand, and ask the actor to sign it. What other choice will he have? I think an alternate life where he's destined to a life behind a desk, signing peaches for a living does sound cringeworthy. I'm not gonna lie.
No, that's not going to happen to you. Don't worry about that at all. That is not in the cards.
Let's hope he doesn't have to spend his future like this, though. Maybe we should let the Call Me By Your Name hype die down already. For Timmy's sake, you know, because the man's embarrassed enough as it is. Probably because his mom used to fill out his audition resumes for him. Now, is he directly responsible for this? Not really. Is it still really awkward to hear for the first time? When you're Timothee Chalamet and your career is on the line? Then yes. He shared during The Tonight Show that his mom was in charge of the task when he was younger. And I think Mama Chalamet took some creative liberties with the job. Because she didn't fill in the resume with just his acting skills, but also normal stuff, like how Tim's really good at playing chess. Don't worry, he was a good sport about the whole thing. And joked how no casting director would have chosen him for a role based on his chess abilities.
Chess. No casting director's like, this kid plays chess, let's put him in a movie,
Unless he was trying out for the Queen's Gambit. Hey, he might have had a decent shot actually if that were the case. I mean, it would have saved him the embarrassment, that's for sure. And that's a wrap. From his mom helping him out with his resumes for auditions, to skipping out on a night of drinking because he didn't have a fake ID. These were all the times Hollywood's Adonis, Timothee Chalamet, embarrassed himself.